Hey, new day in the shop. Today I got something different. I'm gonna pull this, move this Miata over to the back. I'm gonna pull my van in here, and we're gonna install a relay bank for my LED lights. Ordered this relay bank off of Amazon. Right here, let's see. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna put that in there. So let me get all this set up. Let me get this Miata moved and the van in here. So I recently installed these side lights on the roof rack. I've got 2 up top, 3 in the front, and then 1 on the back and two more on the sides. Well, because I've got so many of those, I really need a relay bank for it. I can run them off of this switch here, but it's not safe to run it like that. You got all that power running through your dash. I can run them individually. If I run them all, try to run them all at one time, which you'd never do that. I don't guess. It just it pulls too many amps. So anyway, what this will do is this will put all the power underneath the hood, and then I'll just have switches, small voltage running to the small amperage running to the switches in the cab. So yeah, so let's figure out a place to put this in underneath the hood, and then we'll go from there. Here's the relay box brand and model number. I got it off of Amazon. I can't make my links clickable in the comments or in the description because I don't have enough followers and stuff, I guess. But I'll put it in there and you can just copy it or whatever if you need it. So okay, so what I'm gonna have to do to start out with is run a power cable from over there to over here. I want the relay box somewhere in here close to this fuse box, and 2, I've got my wires. I've got a hole through the firewall right here. So let's figure out I'll figure out where I'm going to put it. I'll get the cable made up, and then we'll get it mounted and try to get some wires tied into it. So I found a place I can mount it. It's above the fuse box. It'll be able to close once this C-clamp's out of the way, but it's not too bad in the way. What I will be able to take it off if I have to. I'm just going to put some through bolts, I guess, through that plastic, and then the wiring will loop around, go right down there through the firewall. So that's kind of what I wanted. I had to close the hood and make sure I had enough clearance, and so it doesn't hit it. So it should be fine right there. So now that I know where that is, where that's going to be mounted, I can go ahead and run my cable for my positive wire over there to it. Wow, I'm gonna be stacking it. So I've already got one wire that goes to the house battery in the camper. It's on a relay right there that charges it when the van's running, and then I've got the winch cable there. So yeah, anyway, so I've got some cable. I'm gonna go ahead and make up a cable, and we'll get this thing mounted, tied into the power, or get the power over here, and then we'll go ahead and get our wires down through the firewall. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put one end on this wire, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, so we'll take this now and I'll go measure, get a length on it, and see where it where I gotta cut it up. Okay, so I got a length on it. We'll go ahead and cut it. Okay. So big thing with these is I see people do this a lot. Don't twist the wires after you strip it. All it does is make it fatter, and so it's less likely to fit in your connector. So go ahead and put a sleeve on this. We can do this without screwing up the wires off. I'd really like to put an inline fuse from the battery to here. Let me see if I've got one. A heavy duty fuse. I couldn't find a fuse, so I'll get one at some point. It's just bolted in between here. But anyway, I'm going to get this ran across here, and then we'll see what's next. That ought to work right there. Okay, so I got it tied in. I've got the wire run over here. I'll put some zip ties on here. hold that down to the frame. And then I'll start fishing my wires from the lights through the firewall. I have to run some switch wire, but other than that, it should be pretty straightforward. So I'm just figuring out this wiring on here. It this light off. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the thick wires are going to be going to the devices, to the lights. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got six wires that can go to lights, and then these small wires will go to the corresponding switches. And then I've got a ground right here, and I'll probably tie my grounds in right here somehow. So I got all the wires, the switch wires through here. They're all labeled. They're running through the firewall. I had to take this reservoir out to get to it. I had to make the hole bigger. The hole that I had in there wasn't big enough. After I got to thinking about it, I've got to run switch wires through there also now. So anyway, so I've got to I'm gonna have to run, new wires for switches to connect to all these right here. So I'll need really 5 wires, because I've got the top front 1, the top bottom 2, left and right 3, 4, and then 1 in the back 5. So so I'll need 5. I'll have an extra relay here in case I need it for something. Okay, so I like to test all this stuff before I actually run everything. So I've got everything kind of hooked up. I've got one light hooked up. Basically the white for the lights, I wired up the front lights first, the front bottom. So the wire for the front light and the switch for the front light, I've just got the switch running to the actual switch, and these switches are externally powered by a separate power supply. But anyway, so I've got it all hooked up, so we'll see if it works. Oh yeah, yep, that works good. So I've got you can hear it kind of click in there. See. Anyway, yeah, so that works good. So now that I know that it works, I've got all the wiring correct. I'll just get the rest of them wired up. Okay, so I was wondering what I was going to use to wire back to the switches, and I found this old trailer wiring that I had. I bought a harness, one of those temporary harnesses, not too long ago, and had some wire left over from it. So these are actually the same colors as the relays here. Relay wires. The only one it doesn't have is a black, and I'm only using 5, so there's 4 on here, and I'll run an extra black. I'll run the black to black, and then color for color. So that should make it easy. And I'll only have this plus the 1 extra wire running through the firewall, not a bunch of separate wires. So that'll work pretty good. So let me get these hooked up, and I'll get it run through the firewall. Get the switches hooked up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got it all wired up. It's not all tucked away and everything. I want to test it first before I do all that. That way, if something's wrong, I don't have to tear it all back apart. So I'm going to hook this up, and then we will go in the cab where the switch panel is, and we'll test out all these lights. Excuse the mess in here. Okay, so let's see. All right, we do have power on the switches. Okay, so let's test them out. Let's try these top lights. Yep, they work. Bottom lights, yep, work. Side lights, oh yeah, they work. That one works. Right side, look in the mirror there. Yep, on. And then the rear lights. Can't really tell. Oh yeah, I see it coming over. Okay. So all that works. Now I'll just have to put it all in here and get it buttoned back up and everything organized. Okay, I've got it all wired up here, kind of tucked away back in there. Got a zip tied to the frame there. You can see. Yeah, so should be able to access this no problem. Need to. I've changed out the. It's weird. It came with the sensors that correspond to. I mean, I'm sorry, the fuses that correspond to the color wire. But if you might like, fuses are different amperages based on the different colors. So it's like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Anyway, so I'll have to change these out with the corresponding, whatever I need for the whatever it recommends, for the fuse for the lights. So anyway, yeah, so that turned out good. It's in there. I'm gonna get the inside wired up. I got that wire run over there. It's kind of tied together. I probably need to tie it up a little bit better, but it'll be okay for now. Yeah, so I will get the inside finished off and then show you what it looks like. Okay, so got it all wired in, everything buttoned up, got the switch panel inside wired in and buttoned up. Oh, that light must be on already. Okay, yeah, that works. Get the 2 side ones on. What else I got on? Oh, just about all of them are on, aren't they? Alright, let's see here. Everyone but this one. Okay. So they're all on. Not tripping any fuses. Oh yeah. Looks good. I'll turn the lights out so you can see how it lights up. Pretty good. Yeah, works pretty good. Okay. So I wanted to go over kind of my wiring system that I've got for the roof rack. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights on the roof rack. 2 on each side, 2 in the front, and 1 in the back. And I've got them all wired. I had them all wired originally going through the roof right here and just straight through. I had a grommet up here that it went through, a strain relief grommet, and it went inside. But the problem with that was that, like, if I ever want to take the roof rack off, which I plan to, I want to paint this thing. You have to unwire everything. So what I did, I put this junction box in here. I got this off of Amazon. It's just got terminal strips in here, and I got everything tied in there. So if I do want to take the roof rack off, all I have to do is unwire those from there. The box stays here, and the roof rack will come off. It's not that difficult to take off. I built it myself, so it's not. It just clamps to the gutter, rain gutter. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention was these connectors. We use these connectors where I work at. They're waterproof. They're pretty easy to put together. You can get them on Amazon now. You used to not be able to get them on Amazon. Now you can get them on Amazon. I think they come in a 4-pack, 4 male, 4 female. Anyway, so I've got all my lights hooked into there just in case. So like if a light goes bad or something, replacing it's pretty easy. You just undo it, take the connector off, and plug it back in. So it's not a big process of losing wire, cutting butt splices and stuff like that. So I've got them on all my lights here where they connect instead of, like I said, butt splicing them or whatever. So those connectors work pretty good, and they're pretty sleek. They're not big and bulky. So anyway, I kind of wanted to show you guys that. So the reason, you're probably asking why I got so many freaking lights on here. Well, the reason is because when we take this thing, I built this in 2016, I think. I built it out to be a camper. Didn't have near the stuff it has on it now, but I built it so that we could take it out west. We take it out west a couple times a year, and at least once a year. And when you a lot of the places that we stay is like free BLM land. There's no really like designated campsites. It's just roads in the desert, and you just drive out to it. So some of it, it's kind of hard to see where you're going. I have a hard time backing up sometimes into certain spots, or so these lights really help, getting in and out of places. So there is a use for them. They're not just for looks. But I got these. I put these on the side because, like I said, I was having trouble. Like while I was backing up, I couldn't really see my tire, my wheels that good. See if I was gonna run over a rock or anything, or bust a tire or whatever. So anyway, that's why I've got all these lights on here. So, but yeah, maybe I'll do a video. I can do like a tour of this van. It's a 2009 E350, Ford E350. It's a good van. I drive it to California tomorrow. It's got over 200,000 miles on it. I think it had 90 something when I bought it. So anyway, yeah, maybe I'll do a video about that. You guys can see what's going on with it. So anyway, yeah. So if you got any questions, any comments, anything you think I did wrong or whatever, any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Other than that, thanks for watching.